from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
Henrico Schools officials pull another book from a school library, and Governor Glenn Youngkin releases his COVID-19 action plan. We'll tell you more in today's Henrico News Minute for Friday, January 21st, 2022.
And now for the news.
We got a little dusting of snow, and some of that has frozen overnight, so Henrico Schools are opening 2 hours late today, as are county buildings and courts. Those will open at 10 a.m. Be careful if you're out and about early today. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin yesterday rolled out his COVID-19 action plan. In it, he urges nearly 1.6 million Virginians who are not yet vaccinated against COVID to get the initial series of shots and then boosters when eligible. And he's directing the state's Health and Human Resources Department to prioritize vaccine education and outreach efforts toward communities in the state that are disproportionately unvaccinated. He's also directing state officials to host some 120 COVID vaccination events statewide and to deploy mobile vaccine units to rural communities. Youngkin also will prioritize COVID testing for people who have symptoms, but he's discouraging it for those who are asymptomatic. He also ordered the HHR to expedite pending orders of rapid tests and directed them to work with the Biden administration to speed the distribution of federally acquired tests to the state. Youngkin's plan prioritizes rapid testing for students who were potentially exposed to the virus, as well as essential healthcare workers and other essential workers who need to be tested in order to return to work, in addition to vulnerable citizens such as those 65 or older or those who live in long-term care communities, among others. His plan also includes 8 actions from his Executive Order number 11 that are aimed at providing flexibility for healthcare providers who are battling staffing shortages. A second book has been pulled from Henrico County Public Schools shelves. This one's a young adult novel called I'm a Gay Wizard. The book was pulled following a parent's formal complaint about its sexual content. It was formally challenged less than 2 weeks after the novel Out of Darkness was challenged and later removed from the school system's libraries as well. This complaint objected to a, quote, very graphic detail in the book. The formal request was lodged November 8th. The school system's Instructional Materials Review Committee met last week to discuss the Out of Darkness book. That's a novel about an interracial teen romance that also was targeted for its sexual content. That book, it turns out, was never formally challenged by a parent or community member. Instead, as our Anna Bryson learned, the request to consider removing it actually was lodged by the school system's Chief Learning Officer, Leslie Hughes. Spokeswoman Eileen Cox said it was within Hughes' purview to request a review of instructional materials, either formally or informally, and said that she is not a complainant challenging the book. She was, quote, asking for a review in her role as the Chief Learning Officer, end quote. Members of that committee met to discuss Out of Darkness last week. They'll prepare a recommendation for Superintendent Amy Cashwell, who will then present the report to the school board. In February, the group will meet again to discuss I'm a Gay Wizard. This is the first time in nearly 11 years that the school system has conducted a review process of a book. The Henrico Board of Supervisors will hold its annual retreat on Saturday from 8:30 to 5. It's going to discuss a number of topics in depth and hear from various county officials. The meeting will be held at the county's Western Government Center, but attendance will be limited to people involved with the meeting. However, you can tune in through WebEx online, and we'll have complete coverage of the meeting afterwards. There will be discussions about economic development, the county's comprehensive plan, the school system, major utilities, real property, and the bond referendum that's planned for this November. COVID-19 has been affecting staffing at Virginia's ABC stores, and so as of Monday, all 395 of them will begin opening each day at noon, the agency announced yesterday. The change is designed to enable ABC's limited workforce to better serve customers. Many stores currently open before noon, but increasingly employees have been affected by COVID and that's caused problems at the stores. As an alternative to in-store shopping, you can also place your orders online at abc.virginia.gov for curbside pickup or home delivery in most parts of the state. Today is the graduation of the 135th basic session of the Virginia State Police. The new graduates of the academy will begin their service in the field later this month, and 12 of them will be assigned in whole or part to Henrico County. There's also one of those 12 who's actually from Henrico. She is Elijah Danielle Monet Anan. Congratulations to all of the new graduates. On Tuesday night, for the first time since 2014, an elementary school student won the Henrico County Public Schools Divisionwide Spelling Bee. It was Knuckles Farm Elementary 5th grader Mujen Yang, who correctly spelled jambalaya in the 11th round to claim the title. Emmy Breiniger, an 8th grader at Tuckahoe Middle School, was the runner-up. Yang now will move on to represent Henrico Schools in the Richmond Times-Dispatch Regional Spelling Bee. The winner of that event will advance to the Scripps National Spelling Bee, which is held the week of Memorial Day.